Hi, everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. So, this video is not going to be a tarot reading. This video is just looking at the laundry list of people who've been fired because of Harry and Meghan, based off the rumors that Allison P Davis, the woman who took an interview with Meghan, chosen by Meghan to do the interview for Cut magazine, that I have still not read yet. And I'm gonna also, after I go through all the people that have gotten fired because of Meghan and Harry, I'm gonna read for the first time the Cut interview. That I'll do it at the end. So if you don't want to hear that, I'll put that at the end. So you can just. Anyway, so the rumor is, now I first heard of this on Lady C's channel. And just to be clear, I love Lady C's videos. I think she's very interesting. I always learn something. So I do admire her, and especially that she's an older woman who has a presence, a very prominent presence on social media, which I think is very important, because I think, as I was just being informed by a person who wrote to me about her mother being abused in a facility, and that we have a serious problem with abuse of older people, and basically, this whole pandemic was basically, killing off older people, which also happened in Nazi Germany with their genocide, and it's happened here with the COVID pandemic, where, as we know, people who are positive were sent to nursing homes to infect them and kill them, and also people in nursing homes, being injected everything. So yeah, there's this serious attack on, because they don't want to pay. It's about the bankers. They don't want to pay Social Security, Medicare. They're, basically, it appears as if there's a genocide of older people going on, and there's also a lack of respect. One prime example is Dr. Vernon Coleman, who has a website he humorously names Old Man in a Chair. And he's a medical doctor who's been writing about Big Pharma and what they've been doing since the 1970s. And he was right from the beginning. From this pandemic, he knew from the get-go. You can go back and watch his videos. He saw it all coming. All right. Of course, he was blocked and banned from big tech from the beginning. But he's another example. We need these people out here, people who have been around a long time and know what's what, not harlots like Meghan Markle going around and censoring people and getting them fired from their jobs, which she has done with regularity. Now, to be clear, we don't know exactly what's going on with Allison P Davis. It appears like she's been fired. She could have been. I mean, knowing Meghan's track record, which I'm going to show real quick here. But so Lady C brought this up, as did HG Tutor, in a video. And the reason is because on Twitter, now Allison P Davis is, I guess, say, a black woman, a woman of color, however you want to describe her, who was chosen by Meghan Markle. You don't see a picture here. She has Prince in her. This is her Twitter account. And she writes, excellent writer for The Cut in New York Magazine. I mean, you don't become a writer for them unless you're top of the line, right? She didn't really make a comment about the Queen's passing, just that people have been reaction. She tweeted on August 29th, in other words, for the first time in ... I'm going on extended vacation, out of pocket, living in the moment. Pray for my TL inbox. So basically describing being fired here, or let go, or paid leave, not unpaid leave. And then this one was funny. Are you being silent, or have you been silenced? Make a guttural sound so we know. Now, I do know that her article mentioned that Meghan told her to write about her guttural sounds, which is disgusting. Someone told her to write to Tom Bauer. So apparently it does look like from the responses that she was fired, or whatnot. But it looks like when you search this online, I didn't search Google, but I did search other, alternates, and um, you can't find anything. So Sunshine Sachs could be suppressing this, and that's why we're not sure. But I wouldn't be surprised if she was fired, and I'll tell you why. Because Meghan has a long history of getting people fired from their jobs that she's unhappy with. She's a dictator. She's part of this movement of globalists who are using BLM and the whole George Floyd thing and it was all concocted, all BS, PR. George Floyd is nothing but a criminal who held a gun to a pregnant woman's belly. He is a drug addict, and he should never be immortalized or seen as some kind of idol, and any statue of him should be ripped down immediately, in my opinion. The whole thing is a total criminal enterprise, blasted with PR and pushed on everyone. And Meghan supports this, of course. But anyways, I found this interesting how this journalist, Allison Davis, was blown away by the Duchess's unimaginable wealth. Don't forget this, because Harry and Meghan would like you to believe with their sunshine sacks that they're just they just want to be financially independent. They're looking for a job. They only have, 12 million from Diana and millions from elsewhere. I mean, they are the wealthiest people in the world. Okay, they're globalists. All right. Don't believe any of the crap you hear about, oh, they only have, Meghan tried to lie and say she couldn't afford, almost couldn't afford their Montecito mansion. That's a total lie. They have more money than you could ever imagine, these two. It's just unbelievable. So I'm glad she pointed this out. And I'm sure Meghan didn't like that she pointed this out. How Meghan and Oprah and all the rest, they're just globalists. They're billionaires, probably billionaires, Meghan as well. I mean, the royal family is the wealthiest in the world, one of the wealthiest. So you can't tell me that they're just looking for financial independence. The whole thing was a crock of crap, lies. Okay, so I want to start off with what people keep. Now, I also heard, again, I haven't read the article, but I've been catching snippets of the article, and one where Meghan tried another lie, more misinformation from the lying witch Meghan Markle. She claimed that she had to use only the Instagram account of the royal family. She didn't have her own account. She wanted you to think she had no freedom online, when in reality, Meghan and Harry stole an Instagram account from a UK citizen, a white man, not surprisingly. So Meghan and Harry just stole his account without not asking permission, not compensating him in any way, because he was a football fan, and there's a football team called Sussex Royale in the UK. And the Harry and Meghan, that's what they wanted for their account, and that's the account they used to announce Megxit. So they posted whatever they wanted on their account. So they had full control over it. But not only that, they stole this account. And I think Meghan and Harry are racist. Meghan, of course, particular, because she stole this from Kevin Keeley of Worthing, West Sussex, when he had the @Sussex Royale handle, where he joined the photo sharing website because he lives in the county and supports Reading, whose nickname is the Royals. So if this is the man who on the left that she stole his account. Now, if he had been a black woman, Meghan and Harry wouldn't dare have stolen their Instagram account, right? But because it's a white man, racist Meghan Markle thinks she can abuse any white old person she wants. And this shows that her behavior towards these journalists that she's gotten fired, Piers Morgan, and of course the Queen, and of course everybody in the UK. I mean, just about everybody, the entire country. Meghan is very racist, in my opinion, very anti-white. And here is her Sussex. She stole Sussex Royale from this man. Didn't apologize. Didn't say anything about it. Just went silent. Meghan and Harry go radio silent when they do something evil. But they didn't get away with this. This became a news story, and it should not be forgotten, no matter how many lies she tries to tell now, 4 years later, trying to claim, or 3 years later, trying to claim, oh, I didn't have my own Instagram account. I mean, that woman is such a pathological liar. You cannot believe anything that witch says. All right, next. So then Meghan all right, so whenever Meghan got somebody fired, it was always because they were racist, right? Because the whole George Floyd thing. So anybody who did anything that Meghan didn't like were automatically deemed a racist. So now this was about 2 police officers who were fired because of a WhatsApp message that they sent. So they sent some joke as a joke. They were, in a private WhatsApp group, right? It wasn't public. It wasn't Twitter, right? Because WhatsApp is more private, right? So anyways, whatever the case may be, it was a joke, a gollywog, a toy. and they're having a joke. And don't forget, Harry also. This is not uncommon in military police to have kind of what do you call it, locker room humor, even sports teams, whatever. And Harry himself has been caught in the past calling racist terms to his you know colleagues in the military. It's a common. So, but did Harry get fired for that? No, of course not. But Meghan gets these couple of police officers fired. So this is the one example. There's many, many examples, and this is a huge story. So experienced police officers were fired because of a WhatsApp message. So, I mean, this is very dangerous, right? I mean, it's already been dangerous, but having a sense of humor and making a joke and privately is suddenly you get fired from your job. This is what Meghan and her communist Nazi dictatorial totalitarian regime is doing. And don't forget that group of women that they brought out and publicized, these private citizens, because Meghan didn't like the comments they tweeted about her. All right. So besides that, I'm just looking at people they got fired, or some of the people they got fired. It's not an exhaustive list, I'm sure. So, of course, the most famous one was Piers Morgan when he said he didn't believe her, because, of course, nobody believes Meghan. She's a pathological liar. He got fired from his job after Meghan complained to his boss. So this is more bigger than and more direct. Meghan is actually this wealthy woman who's a billionaire who lives in a mansion, has all these servants, and she's getting journalists fired from their jobs because she doesn't like what they said. Right? So Meghan's got a history of this. And it's not a surprise to me that it's happened now. I mean, it is a surprise that it is a black woman, but yeah, because it's a black woman who's not gonna lie for her. Because Meghan expects you to lie for her if you're black. That's basically the bottom line. Right? She expects you to kiss her butt and push her lies. And if you don't, but of course, any white males, your head's in the chopping block with Meghan right away. Meghan's the biggest racist. So yeah, so she got Piers Morgan fired, and she was thrilled with that. Next, she also got um, Hugh Heckman, a PBS writer, said the PBS NewsHour Productions discriminated against him based on his gender or sex by assuming that his comment that Markle was not bad was sexual in a complaint filed. So he just made a comment saying, not bad, and he got fired about Meghan Markle, and he got fired. I mean, PBS. This is like a lefty. PBS is a total lefty news organization, too. That's the irony of that one. Next, then you have knee-jerk reaction. Former PBS journalists, wrongful termination. Okay, this is the same one, I guess. Oh, this is the same one. Okay, journalist Hugh Heckman. He's 72 years old. So again, an older person, journalist, and Meghan's firing. That's so horrible. Yeah, he said his remark was innocently intended. Yeah, he's a 72-year-old man. Come on. He's not leering after Meghan. Bleh. Nobody's leered after her. She's so gross. So again, getting fired because of Meghan. It's not like Piers Morgan. Piers Morgan got fired directly because of Meghan. She called, and but I think a lot of these Meghan was behind the scenes. We may not have proof of it, but she's making phone calls. You know that, this bitch. She's a psycho bitch, in my opinion. Council worker 55 loses employment after she was wrongly sacked for office banter after sharing gollywog picture. That's the police officer one. Let me double check these damn ads. Okay. So this is a woman. So there were a couple of guys, but there's also a woman, a 55-year-old woman, who claimed that she was just trying to fit in with the usual office banter when she claims. So this is the WhatsApp message again. Yeah. They were making fun of Meghan and Serena Williams. You're not allowed to make fun of Meghan and Serena Williams. If you do anything as a joke or make any comment about them, you're fired. I mean, how dictatorial can you get? Meghan wants it so that you can't even say anything about her negative. And this is why I think I keep losing my YouTube accounts, because Meghan can't stand any criticism. She is a narc with a major attitude here. Major psychotic problem here, in my opinion. All right, next, Danny, another prominent journalist, because he sent a photo as a joke to his friend on Twitter. Again, this was not something published. It was something in the newspapers. It was something he sent to a friend as a joke, and yeah, he gets fired. Baker, 61, was axed amid a storm over a picture of a chimp dressed in clothes with the caption, "Royal baby leaves hospital." So, regardless of what your personal opinion is of the taste of the joke, it is just a joke, and he shouldn't have lost his job over it. Maybe he should have, you could have pushed him to apologize or something, or, but he shouldn't have been fired. And that's the thing. There's a difference between, getting causing somebody to lose their income and not be able to survive, uh, lose their job, lose their home, whatever, over a comment or a joke is completely out of control and abusive and malign and just evil. I mean, this is the evil of Meghan Markle. This is how evil she is with her group, ruining people's lives and sending them into poverty, especially older people, who are at the end of their careers. They're not going to be able to get another job. You got a 72-year-old, you got a 61-year-old. I mean, maybe they could get some more work if they get somebody, but people are going to be afraid to hire them because you've got the whole Sunshine Sachs, lefty George Soros propaganda machine attacking people walking on eggshells, right, with the cancel culture BS. I mean, even for someone like Piers Morgan to get fired in that huge way shows you the impact of this cancel culture, how huge it is. To not even be able to save Piers Morgan's job, right? But luckily, Piers fights back, and has another job now. He had to move on somewhere else, and that news site has lost all their viewers, just like CNN losing viewers, because people are sick and tired of this hypocritical, evil, totalitarian, globalist regime, which Meghan Markle is an ugly head of, in my opinion. Getting all these people fired. So all these people, Meghan doesn't care how much you suffer. Go suffer. Meghan Markle wants you all to be poverty stricken and be looking for handouts. Maybe Meghan's thinking she'll come by and give you a little food one day. She'll bring a little parcel over, like Harry did once. Then there was another journalist who was sacked, Julie Burchill, sacked by the Telegraph after calls for her to be removed after being described as a racist tweet. So again, it was always a tweet about something. It was like, oh, give it a rest, Meghan. Yeah, Meghan, who alleges that she's not on social media, gets an awful lot of people fired because of their tweets. And Meghan's behind all this. I think Meghan's behind all these firings. Just like all the people that she went through and all her, assistants, that the open revolving door that she had of people working for her. Meghan is an abusive bully. There was a whole bullying investigation. Meghan was found guilty. We all know it. And her bullying doesn't stop just with her personal staff, though. She wants to bully the world. She's a dictator. That's why she's got all these people fired. This is why people are being shut down on social media and YouTube, myself included. So, columnist, took to social media. Okay, now this, I believe, yeah, this was funny. See, this was a joke. This wasn't racist at all. This was Julie Burr, because this was in the height of all that George Floyd nonsense, that criminal drug addict that George Soros's BLM Antifa Marxist communists wanted you to look as a hero. In BS. So anyways, she made a joke after. Now, again, this is an example of Meghan and Harry doing something to incite people and get them angry. Meghan and Harry called their child Lilibet, which is the Queen's personal nickname. And so Meghan, in a distasteful she's an instigator. She was being nasty. She's being evil, as she always is. And another example of Meghan's evil. What kind of evil woman names her child after the nickname of the most famous monarch in history, while at the same time totally attacking this monarch and disrespecting her at every turn? I mean, Meghan is just evil as it comes. So, of course, British people who love their monarchy and love their queen are going to react to that. So, 61-year-old Burchill had tweeted, quote, "What a missed opportunity. They could have called their baby Georgina Floydina." Which I thought was funny and true, because Harry and Meghan are total lefties with George Soros globalists. So perfectly fits. They should have named their child Georgina Floydina. It'd be much more appropriate. But unfortunately, another one bites the dust. Julie Burchill was fired again, the latest victim of Harry and Meghan, particularly Meghan. And then, of course, we have to add in the extra rub that Meghan's friend Omid Scobie gloats over the sacking of a Telegraph journalist, Julie Burchill. So, right, so it's not bad enough that Meghan and her globalist totalitarian regime gets you fired. Then you got Omid Scobie, her little flying monkey, gloating all over and getting an article written about him about how much he's gloating, right? It's that evil little pack that she has, evil little nasty demons. So next is the real reason Meghan and Harry's staff keep quitting. So don't forget, Harry and Meghan are going through their staff when they were there like water, right? It said the couple have reportedly gone through 3 nannies and counting within just 5 months of baby Archie was born, right? They have a revolving. This is about the revolving door. This was from December 2019. Okay, so they went through a lot more stuff after this. So right from the beginning, Meghan was going through staff like water, right? I mean, okay. Next victim here, a lawyer who was suspended from her firm after writing a quote racist tweet about Meghan and Harry baby name. I mean, what the fuck? You know what I mean? Joanna Tosh was suspended from her own law firm over a racist tweet, right? A tweet that said, "Oh, is this? No, it's a different one. Could have been Georgina Floydina." Oh no, then she replied. Okay, she replied, "No, Doria, don't Black Lives Matter." Right. So this was when that whole thing was going on with again the BLM George Soros thing. Meghan names the child Lilibet, the most evil thing, one of the most evil things. I mean, she's an evil all over. This woman. This woman needs to be put in my opinion, should be put in a mental institution. Yeah, this is the other one, Danny Baker. I believe I covered him. So there's got to be more. I know there's more. I'm not finding right here, but this is just some of the people that Meghan has gotten fired. So radio star Danny Baker. Uh-huh. Yeah, this is the one that got fired, the 61-year-old BBC radio presenter. Yeah, so Meghan and Harry just love, particularly Meghan loves getting people fired from their jobs because she doesn't care because she's one of the wealthiest families in the world and she's got more money than you'll ever have. So that's that. So let's look at her. Do I want to read this now? I'm not going to read this now. I just can't. I can't stand this woman. I mean, I'll look at it a little bit. I just can't stand it. Everything she's it's to the point you just can't stand that. She is seriously ugly. That is one ugly looking face. And she thinks she's hot. I was like, you gotta be kidding me. This one's been ugly since day one, in my opinion. Well, actually, the only time she's ever looked good is at the her wedding to Trevor. But I'm telling you, this woman, she's possessed by something because she doesn't look anything like she did when she married Trevor. This is a totally different human being, or a totally different demon in human skin. Anyways, the conditions are right for confession. It's a beautiful day, August day in Montecito, in a beautiful sitting room in a beautiful home. Archie Harrison Winbatten Windsor, a lively 3-year-old with a shock of ginger curls identical to his father's. Now, let's talk about the ginger curls of Archie. We all know there's no way Meghan gave birth to anything with ginger red curls. All right, maybe there's offshot, but some pictures I've seen of him, and Ashley was good with this because she was a hairdresser. Some pictures he has bright red hair, and other pictures it's not, it's brown. So they believe that Meghan may color his hair, which wouldn't surprise me at all. Anyways, Toddle's in the room demanding Mama listen to his heartbeat with a wooden toy stethoscope. He stands, tummy protruding, while his mother, Meghan, convincingly performs her glee at hearing the thump, thump, thump in his chest. Archie giggles, and satisfied giggles right back out again. Meghan, relaxing in a cozy chair, gazes over all this climate-controlled and high-ceilinged, sun-dappled, and perfectly marshmallowy, and hers. An invisible hand has lit a Soho House brand rose water candle. So why does she have Soho House stuff in her house? That's kind of tacky and gross. I mean, it shows the background of how she met Harry was the Soho House. A lot of criminal connections there. Remember, Soho House website had a page on it that said no sex trafficking. We bar people from bringing in sex slaves. I mean, what kind of establishment has to put a page on their website saying no sex slaves, don't bring them? So, yeah, Soho House candles, uh-huh. Already we're getting like gross. I mean the money that Meghan has, I mean, I guess Soho House isn't cheap, but I mean, really. Anyways, founder Nick Jones, a friend long before I met Harry, she says. And that scent fills the air, mingling with, and I heard, by the way, that scented candles can cause lung cancer. Just putting that out there. Mingling with the gentle tones of flamenco infected guitar floating from a speaker. Then a flamenco inflicted guitar floating from a speaker. Okay, so she's interviewing Meghan and she's listening to. Wow, Meghan knows how to set the scene, doesn't she? Then, in a lull in the conversation, Meghan turns to me, leans forward to ask in a conspiratorial hush, "Do you want to know a secret?" Meghan, silenced no more. Well, that bitch was never silenced. Looks around, making sure nobody who would be listening in. I mean, can you imagine? She actually did that. She's like, "Do you want to know a secret?" She looks around. I mean, she's putting on a little show here for the interviewer. It's no wonder this interviewer is disgusted with Meghan. I'd be disgusted too. Somebody acts this pretentious and stupid. Meghan is crazy. Then the top secret drop quote: "I'm getting back on Instagram." She says, her eyes alight and devilish. Devilish is for sure. I'm telling you, right on the same page with this writer. I mean, she can see the evil. She's like, oh my god, this woman's evil, diabolical. This could have been a troll delivering a nothing with such gravitas feel as if Meghan, who had been so trolled by the media, is serving it back just a little. No, Meghan is the one trolling journalists and getting them fired with Omid and her Sussex squad. But as I quickly realize, it's actually news. Before this chapter in her life, before everything difficult that spun off from marrying Duke of Sussex and along with him, British monarchy, she was just Meghan Markle, a woman with a plum role in a U.S. procedural and moderately popular lifestyle blog, TIG. Moderately popular, not popular at all. As herself, she'd amassed 3 million Instagram followers by sharing snippets of basic life, yoga, food she liked, hikes with friends, Beagle Guy. Fans watched as she attended events with her Suits castmates and charity galas nights at the Soho House and London, Toronto. She ran that account for many years before she met Harry, but on the heels of their engagement, control over her Instagram was just one of the things, along with the TIG, her passport, and freedom to open her own mail, she gave up. See, right here's the lie. Meghan claimed that she gave up her passport, lie. And freedom to open her mail. I doubt that. They probably hired somebody to open it for her as a service, as an assistant, but Meghan didn't appreciate it. And also, Meghan had an Instagram, Sussex Royale. So this is all a lie. Liar. Meghan's a liar. She loved sharing her life with people, she says, but she loved Harry more. Yeah, of course she does. Harry's the one giving her this platform. It was quote, "It was a big adjustment, a huge adjustment to go from that kind of autonomy to a different life." Yeah, you don't think marrying into the royal family? Yeah, it's an adjustment, Meghan. Duh, that you accepted. Meghan was permitted to join Harry, Kate, and Will on a pre-existing account, Kensington Royal, that she had no control over. So this is a lie. Again, she had her own account. Quote, "There's literally a structure by which if you want to release photos of your child as a member of the royal family, you have to give it to the royal rota." Well, again, Meghan fought back against that from day one and refused to do it. The UK media pool, she explained, Meghan was hostile to the royal rota from day one. She didn't even give them a chance. Like, she was supposed to go. I remember that in the beginning of the new royal, you're supposed to meet the royal rota in like just a conversational way, casually meet them. But she never did that. She refused to meet with them. She kept herself in an ivory tower and refused to lower herself to the journalists and was dismissive and derogatory and hostile towards them and getting them fired. As I've just shown, she's got so many journalists fired. So yeah, she wanted full control over her pictures because she wanted to make money from it with Sunshine Sachs and the U.S. media. That's what really went on. and she controlled her Instagram account. So this is all, whatever. I doubt she was invited on Kensington Royal. I think that's a lie too. I don't think William and Catherine wanted her anywhere near their account. They had their own royal account. They were Sussex Royal. So literally a structure, you want to release a photo of your child. Now Megan's trying to, usually photos would be in media outlets before she could post them herself. That didn't sit right with Meghan, and Meghan's going to control everything. She's a diabolical witch. Given her strained relationship with the British tabloids, Harry's girl is almost straight out of Compton, is how the Daily Mail introduced her, and especially since she would soon have a child of her own to protect, quote, why would I give the very people that are calling my children the N word? Okay, that's a total lie as well. But at the same time, she's, conjuring up these, racial turmoil with a black writer, with a black journalist saying, yeah, can you believe all these racists? And she's like really trying to stir it up. No one called her child the N-word. Please, her child is whiter than snow. So that's a total lie. Anyways, they made jokes, but they got fired. That was a personal account. But yeah, you tell me how that makes sense, and then I'll play that game. I mean, everything's a game with her. It's a PR game. Everything's about her publicity, but no one ever used the N-word. You cannot have a sense of Megan has no sense of humor. The comedians have been the first to be losing their jobs with this George Soros funded totalitarian, BLM movement, and Meghan and Harry are like the they're the most miserable people. They're like robots. They want everybody to be a robot like them or get fired. I thought Georgina Floydina was pretty funny. Dopra. Dorian Oprah. That would have been a perfect name for the instead of Lilibet. And she doesn't. Megan doesn't respond to the fact of how offensive it is that she named her child Lilibet. You know, she knows it's offensive. See, this is the thing about Megan. She does these offensive things and then she plays dumb. I'm not doing anything wrong. I'm just using this unusual nickname that belongs to only the longest reigning monarch in history, and it's just a coincidence, right? I mean, just a coincidence, I'm sure. It's just plucked Lilibet from thin air. It's such a common name, right? Anyways, April 2019, 1 month before Archie was born, Meghan and Harry launched their own Instagram handle, Sussex Royale, which reached 1 million followers in 6 hours. Oh, and by the way, you know how Sussex Royale got so many followers? See, this shows how big tech colluded with Meghan even back in 2019. I mean, we're more aware today of how big tech is controlling everything and working with the governments. But not only did Meghan and Harry steal Sussex Royale out from under a British citizen without any apology or compensation of any kind, just took it, right? Very, very totalitarian right there. And then if you visited Sussex Royale, and we can confirm this, Murky Meg can confirm this, I can confirm this, many people experience this. When you visited, if you just looked at the page, right? Because most of us looked at the page, but we didn't follow. Because we didn't want to follow that bitch, right? That evil demon. But you know what happened? You didn't have to follow. If you just visited it, Instagram forced you to follow. So if you just looked at their Instagram page and left, you go back and check your followers, who you're following, and boom, there they were on there that you were following Sussex Royale and you didn't push follow. So this is the kind of shenanigans, one example of the manipulations with big tech is using, besides all the censorship that they're doing online, how they're trying to control your mind here, what you see, what you're exposed to. And so the fact that Meghan and Harry got so many followers, because yeah, people would look at it out of curiosity. They'd hear about it in the news. Meghan and Harry made a new announcement, especially with Megxit, right? Everybody wanted to see what she posted, but people didn't want to follow her, right? But again, they were forced to follow, and many weren't even aware it was happening. You have to go back and check to say, what is it in my followers? So yeah, there's a lot of the evil big tech shenanigans going on here. Very evil, and all supporting Meghan. which reached a million followers in 6 hours. That means absolutely nothing. That reached a million followers in 6 hours. On their own account, they refused to play the quote exchange game. They broke their own news, posting photos that sometimes never even made it to the Royal Rota. Yeah, because nobody wanted to cover their inane BS. Shortly after they officially stepped back from their royal duties, now they quit the royal family, they shut down Sussex Royale. They could no longer use royal in their branding. Yeah, the Queen, yeah, that was. That was a good one, a good move by the Queen saying, "Oh, you can't use royal." That ruined it for Meghan and Harry wanting to use that brand. And Meghan came out with her Sussex squad saying, "Royal isn't owned by the Queen," right? Later in an interview with Fortune, Meghan declared that she wasn't planning on getting back on social media, but she's on all over social media watching everything. The constant bullying had been too much. Oh yeah, she's going to try to claim she's a victim of bullying as she's ripping down other people's platforms. And her Sussex squad are harassing, haranguing, and doxing people like Yaki Wally and everybody else. But yeah, but of course you're supposed to believe Meghan's the victim here, right? Well, as her team of bullies, Sussex squad, that she is posing for pictures with on a regular basis. In fact, there was a Sussex squad members. They were at Invictus Games, and they recently went to the One Young Leader. There was Sussex squad there. So Meghan and Harry have no problems posing for pictures and basically confirming the fact that they are working with the Sussex Squad group online to bully and harass and dox people. Basically, they're black shirts or brown shirts, whichever one, but little Nazi party group there. And then she turns around and says, "Oh, I'm so bullied," while I sick my Sussex Squad and everyone. I mean, this is the smoke and mirrors, the deceitfulness, the double-facedness of this lying, diabolical witch. So this divulgence, in addition to being newsworthy, is a symbol of progress. No, it's a symbol of destruction. There's no progress being made. It's just destruction. Proof that she and Harry have made it to the other side of the drama and defined their past 3 years. Quote, especially now the archetypes coming out, she said, steering the conversation toward the reason she agreed to sit for an interview in the first place. Archetypes, the podcast Meghan hosts, is the first much anticipated offering to come from the pair. The high profile deals the couple signed in 2020 with Netflix and Spotify. Each episode features her in conversation with famous friends discussing the ways women are unfairly labeled and experienced. Meghan knows she has been through herself and is finally ready to talk about. Please spare us, Meghan. Nobody wants to hear you talk about anything. Progress, however, is a series of steps toward leaps and leaps backward. Yeah, here we go with the word salad. Later, Meghan would relay she's no longer sure who she would actually return to Instagram. Yeah, don't bother. Go ahead. Even if you do return, no one's going to pay attention because nobody likes you. Though she had though she has been media trained and royal media trained and sometimes converse like she has a tiny bachelor producer in her brain directing what she says. Quote, at one point in our conversation, instead of answering a question, she will suggest on how I transcribe the noises she's making. Quote, she's making these guttural noises and I can't quite articulate what it is she's feeling at the moment because she has no word for it. She's just moaning. So Meghan actually told this writer to say this. See, so this is not an interview. This is Meghan telling her what to write. That she's making guttural sounds. So Meghan has this thing with guttural sounds, as somebody else pointed out. That's the same thing Meghan said. She said when Harry found out about Roe versus Wade, he made guttural noises. I mean, I guess that's her favorite word now is guttural because Meghan's from the gutter. No, she's not from the gutter. Meghan is brought up in a very privileged lifestyle, very wealthy family, and private schools, etc. So that's her favorite word now, apparently, guttural. She's a psycho bitch. Anyways, in my opinion. Um, at this stage, post-royal, there's no need for her to hold back. She's never held back, lying witch. She tries to make it sound like she's been held back. She's never been held back. She's been breaking through and doing nothing the way she's supposed to. She never did anything the right way in the royal family. She didn't even bother learning. She didn't care. She knew she wasn't going to stay there. It was all the royal family was to Meghan was a way to step up on stage. And that was it. She's like, okay, I got the stage now. Bye. She's flinging open the proverbial doors to her life as any millennial woman whose feminism was forged in her girl boss era would understand she has taken a hardship and turned it into content. Yeah, please. Hardship, yes. So difficult being a billionaire. Ugh, having all this money, never having to work a day, and just trying to get all these journalists fired. Yeah, it's tough. It's a long day of work getting journalists fired, you know? It's not easy. Yeah, have some sympathy, people. Megan's journey from Deal or No Deal suitcase girl, which she was gross looking about, and a princess makes a fairy tale, at the very least, a stellar romantic comedy. But it took almost no time to turn it into an extraction plot from the mid 90s political thriller. The seeming storybook wedding in 2018 was followed by a year of clandestine conversations with 1,200-year-old old institution dubbed the Firm, which the couple asked for help in relieving Meghan's declining mental health. Yeah, right. When those talks went nowhere, this is her lie. Meghan's cover story is that she had mental health issues. Well, yeah, she is crazy. I'll give you that, in my opinion. But that's just a cover story. If anything, she was driving. It was harming the mental health of all the people around her that she got fired and that she bullied, and she made absolutely no effort to, if she wasn't happy, she should have left. When those talks went nowhere, there was even more clandestine she did leave, right? So when those talks went nowhere, there was even more clandestine conversations with her. But the thing is, Meghan wasn't really suffering with mental health, because all the time she's claiming that she's so suffering there. She was making deals with Oprah, H&M, Sunshine Sachs. I mean, Meghan flew to New York City when she was allegedly 8 months pregnant to go tell a group of I think it was Sunshine Sachs PR people, saying she wants to break the internet, right? So yeah, if we're supposed to think that this woman who's like pushing her career and making arrangements for when she leaves the royal family. I mean, she had it all set up with Hillary Clinton and Michelle Obama. She had a mansion in Canada, everything just all set up. And we're supposed to believe, oh no, she was suffering with her mental health. I mean, that's such a lie. It's a demonstrable lie. Okay. Oh my goodness. Such a lie. But she's still pushing the lie. She still wants you to believe that she was suicidal. Yeah, I don't think so. I think she may have claimed to have been suicidal to manipulate Harry, but I don't believe for a second this witch is suicidal. Um, so when talks went nowhere, there were more clandestine conversations with a network of rich and powerful friends that led to an escape to Vancouver Island for a 6-week holiday that turned into something far more permanent. She was playing this from day one. They were talking to Oprah like even before the wedding. Okay, so it was from there that Duke and Duchess of Sussex, Harry and Meghan, made a surprise announcement they'd be stepping back from their roles in an Instagram post full of hidden context and meaning that M16 could use for message decoding training. Their accepted exit turn, or Megxit, to use the term the papers favored, though Harry declared it misogynistic, stipulated that the couple would no longer make. See, who's Harry to declare anything? Anything? You don't control language, Harry. See, this is Harry and Meghan trying to control language, and that's controlling society, because language is culture. And anthropologists know this. So the fact that Harry and Meghan, that they're censoring people, they're getting people fired from their jobs, journalists specific, and others, lawyers and whatnot, and then they turn around and decide, no, you can't say that word anymore. We declare that, right? Misogynistic. No, Harry, you don't control language. Too bad. If you think it's misogynistic, yeah, you have a long history of racism, being racist yourself, and your BS with unconscious bias, unconscious racism is another craziness of Harry and Meghan. The two of these two really need to be locked away, in my opinion. I mean, it's out of control here. So he comes out and said that about Megxit. Stipulated the couple could no longer make appearances on behalf of the Queen, would no longer be permitted to use HRH, and would make their own money, which is a joke, because we know that the part of the wealthiest family in the world. These two are never going to work a day in their lives, and they never have to. And they're being handed multi-million dollar deals from Netflix and Spotify and other places, getting paid $1 million. Harry got paid like over $1 million to speak for JP Morgan and all those. So, I mean, these two have the easiest, cushiest life ever, but we're supposed to sympathize with them. They suffer so, don't you know? Oh, and by the way, as far as people losing their jobs, don't forget Jean Gashow. I'm saying her name right. I did a reading about her, talking about her. She Her book was Meghan paid her boyfriend at the time, or her partner, to destroy her book that she was writing about Meghan Markle. And so she was a black woman who could see through Meghan Markle, and Meghan paid 6 figures to have her husband destroy her book, all her work. So there's another, and this is on my dailyempresstarot.com page that I talked about that. You can see her blog as well. So Meghan's destruction is white and black. I mean, she's colorblind with her attacks because she's so totalitarian. You know, this is about a globalist totalitarian regime. She doesn't, care. If you criticize her, she wants you destroyed. She's a seek and destroy missile. That's all she is. And she's got her eyes on the queen. Look what she's done. She has contributed to the early death of, not early. I mean, she was 96 years old, but Meghan went out of her way to attack an elderly woman. And this is the start of my video. I was talking about this is a real problem, attacking elderly people and having no sympathy for them, and allowing them to get killed off during this pandemic. And Harry and Meghan attacking this older woman, a 96-year-old woman, and upsetting her. I mean, at that age, it's very easy to upset an older person. They're very sensitive. And Harry and Meghan went out of their way to attack. And of course, her job is to protect her Commonwealth and the royal family. And the Commonwealth was her creation. It was very important to her. And that's exactly why Harry and Meghan used the Commonwealth to promote their BLM, Marxist communists, and attack them and attack the royal family and claim they were racist. So they were attacking the Queen in multiple ways, being vicious, nasty, and evil. And, elder abuse, plain and simple. And then Meghan turns around and tries to play the victim. Like, I'm such a victim of the firm, you know, BS. Meghan has been the perpetrator from beginning to end, and she's backed by all the other perpetrators, George Soros, Bill Gates, all the rest. Hillary Clinton, who visited Meghan at Frogmore. What was Hillary Clinton doing visiting Meghan at Frogmore? Any journalists gonna look into that one? You don't have to, I guess. So anyways, I'm gonna stop here because who can take any more of this crap? How much longer is this article? Can I bear? Yeah, yeah, I'm not gonna read any more of this. Not right now. I just, I can't with this demon. So that's as far as I'm gonna get in the article. Hope you enjoyed it. Thanks for watching. Take care. Bye bye.